Hey Yogi Edgies! Guess who that is? That is me in like high school. What? I was a lot chunkier and different hair color. Oh my gosh. Hi everybody! Yeah, I know. I used to have like so many different colored hairs. I went through a phase where I really liked to dye my hair red, and I really liked it, except this is like my natural hair color, and so as it would start to grow out, it would look like I was balding, like just like a one line balding because it was so light. It was awkward. So welcome. Hi, everybody. In case you are new here, my name is Lisa, and I'm a yogi blogger on boxedge.org. And since Sean called me out on how that's such a weird name, I will explain it again. Every once in a while, I like to make sure that people know why my username is boxedge, and it is because it stands for living outside the box and on the edge. So I had to shorten it because otherwise you would probably think I was the biggest pain in the ass typing the phrase outside the box on the edge every single time. Hey Evelyn! Evelyn, check out this picture from like when I was in 10th grade. I was just showing everybody. Ah! It was so bright. That wasn't even the brightest red. I actually had one even brighter that made me look like a little mermaid, and then I had teal and all sorts of other crazy colors too. It's hypocritical of somebody named Con Hippie to make you explain your name. Very true. Very good point. So, I went inside my mom's house real quick because I'm going to get my cats in a minute. I figured I would take them on an adventure tonight. And Kostas tagged me on Instagram to do a stop drop in yoga, so I figured he did a Hollowback handstand. Oh, he did a Hollowback handstand, and I miss doing those, so I figured, well, I'll come inside really quick so that I can do one, because the only place of wall that I have in my cottage is like the door, and it's like aluminum or something, and I don't know if it would hold my weight up if I pressed my butt into it. So I figured I would just come in here and do it on the wall. And then we'll make an essential oil thing after this, okay? So I forgot to write down the stuff, but if you are going to start collecting your essential oil stuff for the thing we're going to make a bedtime like roll-on. So you'll want lavender oil, you'll want cedar wood, frankincense and stress away, and maybe some coconut oil or a carrier oil, and a little roller ball. So let's find a wall. I have been walking around for 5 minutes trying to figure out what wall I could do this on, so I think we're gonna do it on that one. Yeah. It's funny because you may not know this, but my parents were hoarders. Well, kind of are hoarders. My mom's doing better, but there used to be like no space to do anything in this house. And that's actually, I used to not even visit them because it was so bad. Let me just switch it to the front so I could actually read your comments and stuff. I might as well. So this is like actually been very cool to have some space to do some stuff while I'm staying with my mom. And what was I going to say? There was something else, I don't know. Oh, but she still likes putting random crap like on so many walls, so I try to like prevent her from overdoing it, but I give her some places to put some paintings, so she's got this little floral one right here. Alright, let's do some warm-ups. So I learned most of these from Kino Yoga, so if you're not already following her, you probably should be if you're at all interested in yoga, because she's pretty much like the queen scoper of yoga. But they're very common like warm-ups, so we'll do a couple of those so that I don't like crash and burn, and because I do like working on my handstands to strengthen my shoulders and whatnot. Y'all have any questions or like what is going on? Because I feel like I've just been talking the whole time since I came on here and I didn't even get to say hello. Hi, you need to work on yours. Well, good, so do it with me then. I don't have a mat because I know that I won't fall on my head, but if you're nervous then you should probably grab a mat. And I can't wait for her to replace her floors because they're kind of like blah. Yoga is your life, Frenchie. Well then, Frenchie, if you think of other tips to like do some Hollowback handstands, then let me know and we'll do them. And I think actually, yeah, this is an okay angle. I'll just be very close to the wall as we're doing some warm-ups. So to warm up, you're just going to go into like a cat-cow position. Here, I'll turn you a little bit before we do them so that I am warm. My OCD-ness is kind of freaking out about the fact that there's a bunch of junk in the background, but I'm gonna let it go. Alright, so cat-cow position, and because we're doing hollowbacks, this is table, I finally figured out. Since we're doing hollowbacks, we might as well warm up our back too. So arch, it's fine. Arch, and then hollow. Arch, trying to press your belly down, trying to roll your shoulders back. It isn't. And then hunch, pull your belly button up towards the sky, pressing the palms of your hands through the floor, and we'll just do 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Can you hear my cat like screaming? He's like very much a mama's boy and he knows that I'm in here, so he's like freaking out. Okay. Next, this is like just for your shoulders, so you're just going to keep your belly like nice and tight. Don't let it sag down and don't necessarily like over hollow it. Okay, good. Can you hear me okay? Because I do have it on. I want to see him. You will, whenever I make the oils, I'm bringing him with me and his brother. Okay, so nice and tight belly. Don't let it sag down. Try to keep everything in line. You're just going to shrug your shoulders up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. 2 more. 1 more. Then hold it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to still hold it up. I'm going to probably end up falling into the wall otherwise. And then you're just going to go forward and then back. I try to make sure I'm putting pressure in the palms of my hand and the ball of my hand and my fingertips and not just like one area. 2, 3, keeping the shoulders shrugged. 4, 5, and then hold it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just do it on the knees because I'm still building up really my shoulder strength for plank, which is pretty obvious. That's why I can't hold my handstands for a very long time. I have like the muscles, but they don't have the endurance. So this has been really helping my endurance. Since we're doing hollowback, I probably want to do some like up dog, down dog too, so we might as well do that. Okay, how do I get from here? So fold forward. I'm just gonna hope that I don't hit my head into the wall, and then chaturanga, up dog, down. Hop it forward, trying to find the balance in the hands. Again, down. Chaturanga. Up dog. I can't talk during that. And then balance with my feet together. I've noticed I can only do forward fold with my feet spread apart. Otherwise I like fall over. I feel like a wobbly, like, I don't know why I just thought of it. A hippo on a unicycle, but that's what I feel like. Lisa, can you float? I don't know. Here, let's try. Let's go one more and we'll see if I can float. I get a little bit nervous. So awesome. Okay. Down. Up. I don't know. I don't really know if I've like learned how to do it properly. No, I can't float. It won't catch. It's close though. I can like feel it. I think that my handstand's the biggest part that actually gets me is, let's see if we can see from here. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like really hold it for a long time. I feel it like catching, but it's just not pulling up. So, do you see how my hands are like kind of pointed this way? Well, to me, I'm straightening my arms all the way up. I can't really like pull them back. Like this is like super hard and they're going out more than anything. So it's this flexibility that is making me not like able to tip it up because it's just like pointing me that direction. So it's just taking a really long time. It's undoing 4 years of pole fitness, like pulling down on the pole, you know, it made it really tight and I wasn't taught proper stretches, so it's just something that I am slowly opening up. It used to be like this. I used to not be able to go any further than this, and this is so horrible. Yeah. So I have to extend, and it feels like I'm at the max even though I'm not, so it's kind of like a mind trick, and that's why I video myself a lot. And I told Al that a lot of times you'll feel like you're doing one thing and then you watch yourself and you're like, oh, that was like not at all as straight as I thought. So that's helped me a ton for everything. Okay, that's probably enough. You probably would want to do a lot more warm-ups if you were doing this. However, my back is just really bendy, so I'm not really concerned about it. I mostly wanted my shoulders to be warmed up. Yeah, yes, it's very helpful. So let's see if we can get this Hollowback on camera. Okay. Hopefully well, I guess my pants won't fall off if I'm going upside down, but these are like way too big for me, but you know how I am. I try to use the resources that I have. Somebody gave them to me because they were too big for them. Alright, let's do it. Let's see if I can go up slow. I'm trying to really learn how to like push forward. And sometimes every blue moon I can actually press if I push my head into something, so I guess I might as well see if I can like show you. Ugh, nope, not today. Alright. Oh my, this is definitely stretching that exact area that I talked about. Oh, I can't breathe. That felt pretty low. My back is not quite as bendy as it has been in the past, but I love doing them, yeah. I love doing them against the wall. You can just feel opening. I think that it's actually really opening here where I was talking about. So let's do one also the other way, Like, have you done it where you press your boobs against the wall and like keep your feet in? Any tips on how to get on handstands on your own with no help? All of the girls that I teach, I have them use the pole slash wall as the prop up. So I personally do not like teaching people to go back against the wall, because you're gonna learn to do the exact thing that I have a problem like overcoming. So here's the thing. If you're taught to do a handstand and just slam your body against the wall, do you see how like your lower back and everything is like totally kinked? It's like going to be so hard to learn to push it up and hollow it out. Wow, I'm holding this like a long time. So I don't like really seeing people do that are not really solid in their core, you know, because then that's what you're going to think that a regular handstand feels like. And if you keep doing that, you're just going to keep toppling over. Or that's why I walk my handstands, because my back arches. Do it from a chair. I actually taught that last night. That's actually really funny that you say that. Yes, so pretty much the wall and the chair are gonna do just about the same thing. The main thing is like stacking. So you need to focus not on getting your feet above your head. I'll show you. You need to focus on getting your hands underneath your shoulders, underneath your belly, underneath your hips. And then your legs are, it's just like, your legs are just the fluff. They're the little pretty things that you can do anything with, because think about it, you don't have to do a handstand with your legs straight up. You can do your handstand with like your legs spread. You can you can do like stag legs. You can arch, but the main point of the handstand is to stack from here up, not your feet over your hands. That's not where it's about. So that's why I don't like teaching put your butt on the wall, because you're not stacking your butt over your hands. So to learn the stack, you can't build a pyramid without a base. You need to make the base first. I think you'll be able to see this, but I may need to turn you. Let's see. All right. So first things first, I always make sure that my girls can do a headstand. So if you cannot do a headstand like this, don't even really bother starting with the handstand. Like, you need to be comfortable in that, because you need to know that you're not going to topple over. And then you need to do those warm-ups to make sure that you're like also not so cold that your elbows are going to give out. Kino taught me to pull my elbows in, which was like a huge game changer. You could do it, but with the wall. And that's okay. If you can do it with the wall, then that's what I'm trying to say. You're scared to do it without. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a lot of fear more than anything. Okay. So you want to put your hands underneath your shoulders. That one's long. I take offense to the sexist generalization that this is for girls only. Did I say girls? I'm sorry. If I say girls, it would mean that I teach girls mostly. Those are my clients. I just don't have any male clients right now. Okay, but handstands are totally a lot easier for dudes. Like, one of my favorite yogis, actually, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to tell you. This is so funny, because I had a little like childish girl moment this morning. Now I have male clients, exactly. That's why I'm expanding online, so that I can teach all of you and not just these girls that are near me. So today I like woke up and I was checking my Instagram, and I had wrote a comment yesterday, and you will never believe who actually replied to one of my comments on Instagram, who is like my favorite guy yogi that I totally have like a little girl crush on, because he's so like badass. Evelyn, you may know, and some of you other Instagrammers may know. Yes. See, I was like, oh my gosh, he replied to my comments. Like, did I say something like that was actually meaningful? And there was like 900 comments on that particular photo. Did you see the slow motion, like, lift and then arch? It was so amazing that and I read what people write, because you know that I write on the bottom of my pictures, you know, so I hate whenever people don't read any of the words and they're just like, so cool. And then it's like there was a really meaningful question or thing to think about underneath. So I always read what everyone writes, and I read it, and his was something about being enough. And I was saying, oh my gosh, like the slow motion is like really inspiring, because I like going in slow motion for everything. And I was like, you're very inspiring, and thank you so much for always sharing. It's always enough. And he replied, I don't know if he was offended, but he said, this was not filmed in slow motion. This is real time. And I was like, oh my God, he thought I was like being a jerk, I think, or he was just like correcting me. I don't know. But he replied to my comments. So then I wrote another one. I was like, no, I know it wasn't in slow motion. I mean your body. So I totally took a screenshot of that, because I was like so amazed that Dylan Warner replied to my comment. He has amazing control. And so back to what you were saying, Sean, check out Dylan Warner, and like he shows how much like guys are so awesome at yoga, and a lot of times can do a lot of things so much easier that girls can't. And actually that totally goes along with what I teach too. Every guy that I have ever taught gets things in like 2 seconds that take girls like years, and normally it makes them very jealous. But I get it. It's just we're made differently. Okay, whoa. So, Evelyn, or anyone that's watching that wants to do handstands against the wall, and we'll do a hollow back after we get stacked. Okay, so first let's focus on stacking, because if you are still getting used to your handstand, you need to put your hands underneath your elbows, pulling your elbows in towards each other. Don't let them bend. This is how I used to do my handstands. Like, this is actually very common dude stuff, okay? This is how most guys are able to push themselves up, because they use their biceps. That's how I do mine naturally from gymnastics, and that's why I walk, because look, it's like I'm walking like a gorilla or something, okay? Pull the elbows in. So, elbows over the base of your hand, and then shoulders over the elbows over the base of the hand. If you can't do that, then that is step one. And try to point the like middle 2 fingers forward. Don't let them go out, splayed out, unless you happen to have like a broken wrist issue. I do know a few girls that have to have one splayed out, because their wrist will not bend anymore the way that you can forward. So that would be my only thing that I would say on that. Okay. Lift your butt in the air and find, this might be too close, depending on how flexible your legs are, okay? Find your shoulders over your elbows, over your wrists. Just push like a knee or a foot against the wall, and find it pressing you directly over it, and keep shrugging your shoulders the whole time. I like to do it like a standing split, but it is okay if you just push your knee and lift your butt up. I can do it so much easier by doing a standing split, so I'm going to do it that way, okay? So, elbows in, shoulders over wrist, push the foot into the wall, and hollow your back so that you're stacking your butt over your shoulders, over your hands. Does that make sense? I'm not showing you a perfect one, because you can see where I'm having the issue with my shoulders not in line. Okay, this is in line. Do you see that stack? This is what you should be more concerned about, rather than pushing your butt against the wall. That is stacking. That would mean that your abs are engaged fully, and able to help you balance. Because just like you shouldn't stand like this, like you shouldn't stand like this, so why should you do a handstand like that? You should stand and have it all like nice and aligned, right? So why would you train yourself to do it the wrong way in the first place? It's an issue that I have with how a lot of people learn their handstands. And then how do you start getting away from the wall? Okay, let me take a breath. I should have brought some water with me. One of the ways that I'm trying to think of how to do it with just a wall, because of what I use, it kind of is a little bit different. But in gymnastics, I don't have a ball in here, or I might, but it's just not readily available. But if you have an exercise ball, I'm just trying to think of, imagine you have to get some confidence and just try and know an exit strategy if you fall. Yeah. However, some people get like a false sense of security and then hurt themselves. So that's why I have a hard time saying that, because I don't know exactly in person what's going on, you know? So like if I was in person, I can tell you if I can tell it's a fear thing versus like a strength thing. But I do have a few girls that I teach that like think they can do anything, and I'm like, please stop. You're going to break your neck. You need to stop there. That's what I'm scared about. Okay, so then Evelyn, since you can do it on the wall, then I would start pulling one foot into the stacking position, okay? And if you had an exercise ball, you want to try to do like a plank. So imagine you're like on your exercise ball, and you're pulling the exercise ball from your knees up to your shins, and then up into like this is too far. But imagine you're like this on the exercise ball, okay? And then you can get some momentum by going out and then up, out and then up. And then that'll test if you fall. I tried, but I kept falling. That's, okay. So if you're falling, it means that you're not using your abs as like a steering wheel. You should be using your abs to make sure you don't fall from one side to the other. Does that make sense? So your obliques might not be quite ready. Yeah, because I have a girl that does that, and she falls every time, but that's okay. She's on the ball. She's like only, you know, this high off the ground. And she knows that it will happen. She's not scared anymore. But if you don't have the ball, and if you know that your obliques are engaging, then here's the last thing. Okay, and I'll go ahead and walk it into a hollow back after showing you this. I'm sweating now. Okay, that was a lot more. This is good though, because I need to work them, so you're making me do it. And this is actually the best way that I get practice, is by teaching. Alright, so you walked up the wall, okay? You walked up the wall. Try to push your butt over your hands. Find the pressure coming into your palms, and then you're just going to push one foot to the sky. And then you'll be able to feel if the other foot is needed or not. Did you see how it was like slowly coming off? I'm not pushing so that it just like flies off. I'm just barely releasing the toes and seeing if it'll catch. I'm not going to extend the other leg back, because then you may end up falling into a bridge. And if you're not ready for that, then like don't do that. Facing the wall instead of, yeah. And that's what people are trying to do when they're putting their backs on the wall and lifting one leg, but their butts are not stacked. So the only way that I would ever suggest doing back against the wall is stopping yourself with, here, if you had to do back against the wall, the only thing I would suggest which is going to be really hard because you're going to almost have to have a handstand to stop yourself. You would have to stop yourself. It's going to be hard. You would have to stop with your foot behind your knee so that you were exactly shin length away. Does that make sense? But that's hard. That you pretty much have to have your handstand to do that. And that's why everyone uses their ass against the wall, because it's too difficult to just put a foot on. Okay, here comes the hollow back belly against the wall. I haven't really done these a lot, but I wanted to do it today, so we'll see. I am trying to think of how close. I'll probably need pretty close to the wall, so you probably have to lock your hands in. How that looked, but it was difficult and it takes a lot more concentration. Scared to do it that way. Okay, I'm interested to see how it looked. Could you tell it was a hollow back? Because I was just staring at the wall. I had to put my face against the wall, otherwise I was starting to tilt out. And yes, you have to take your time on that one. Like, it's a lot more balance on that one than like when you can just slide your butt down the wall. Cool. Okay, I think, oh, let's do one more. So in case you like that idea where like you're piking, you know, because you can do that with your butt against the wall. You just allow your feet off. You want to come away from the wall more. I'd be worried I'd fall backwards. Yeah, and I don't have a problem with falling into a back bend, so that's why unless you can fall into a back bend, you don't want to do that way. It would be very, very scary. Or if you knew how to do a dive roll and you had a really soft pad underneath you, then that would be okay. All right, last one, and then we'll make some wheels. I can fall into wheel. Yeah, so that's all you would do. You would just fall into like a wheel, like a front walkover. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Okay, so